driving to Chicago. It's unusual for me, I hardly ever drive anywhere, but I'm going to do a radio show there in Chicago for 3 nights at the largest Christian radio station in Chicago, WYLL, and the host of the show is Dan Sheridan.
What we hope to accomplish with the radio program to reach as many people in this area as possible with the gospel, the grace of God. That's first and foremost. So in the Chicagoland area on our radio station, there's 15 to 20 million people in the listening audience. Now, it doesn't mean there's 15 or 20 million people listening, but there's that potential, and we think the Lord Jesus Christ is worth it, and many people need to hear it.
The goal for me is basically to get the truth out. God does not live in man-made temples. Acts chapter 17. A lot of people who are in the institutions, I think they sense that something is wrong with it, but they can't put their finger on it. What I do is put my finger on it. I wrote a book a few years ago called How to Quit Church Without Quitting God. And people hear this message and they go, yes, I knew something was wrong with the institutions, and this guy is telling me what I've suspected in my spirit all along. The kind of exciting thing about this is that we're doing this at a mainstream Christian radio station, biggest station in Chicago. So it's mainstream where we might start on this and they might throw us out. I don't know. That'd be great. I hope they do.
I was in the local post office, and there was a sign on the wall with a picture saying "Wanted." And so that's how I heard about Martin Zender. Actually, I heard about Martin Zender through doing some searches on the internet, and I came across his website, and I saw his book, How to Quit Church Without Quitting God. I also saw some of his writings on there. I listened to a little bit of his snippets, and I said, this guy's as crazy as I am.
So basically, I'm going to Dan's house first. He lives in the suburbs. And I'll tell you, the biggest thing for me right now, this may sound crazy, but the biggest thing for me is, am I going to get enough sleep on this trip? Yeah, some people call me a sleep baby.
What inspired me to bring Martin on was a couple things. Number one, I felt he was one of the few men out there who were not afraid of speaking the truth regarding church.
I got to get 8 hours, my beauty rest, whatever. I'm an early to bed, early to rise guy. I think Ben Franklin was a genius.
That he wasn't afraid to speak the truth regarding, when I say church, I don't mean the biblical church. I mean the monstrosity out there that has veiled what the scriptures are to unveil. That's the person and work of Christ.
It's going to be tough for me, especially this time of year. During the summer, it's always tough. It's tough to go to bed when it's still light out. I sometimes feel that time and light are my big enemies. Time and light are the enemies of somebody whose desire is to be well rested and to be ready.
I felt that one, he was not afraid to offend people, though that, nobody wants to purposely offend people who are honest, but some people need to be woken up to see what the church has been doing to Christ, and they've been veiling him.
Kids are outside running around and still light out, and I'm closing my drapes, which really we haven't gotten decent drapes. For some reason, Melody cannot find drapes that inhibit the light. We get these opaque things, and it's very hard to sleep, very frustrating. So, crazy as it sounds, I'm worried about it. I don't know how it's going to work out on this trip. It's a concern of mine.
And also the other thing is his recent book, How to Be Free from Sin While Smoking a Cigarette, has put in written form some of the best things I've read on the teachings of Paul in Romans 6, 7, and 8. And he has really hit it on the head there, showing people that they are free from sin, regardless of their experience. They are free from sin because of what Christ has done for them, not because of what they've done for themselves.
I fear the time zone. Somewhere in Indiana, there's the central time zone thing, the line, and when I cross that, I would instantly lose an hour, and that's going to bother me.
We think the Lord Jesus Christ is worth it.
I'm worried about the drape situation. It probably wouldn't be hard for it to be better than my situation, but it might be worse. I don't know. I'll find out when I get there.
And so that's our main goal, is that they hear the gospel, the grace of God.
I think he's a big Chicago White Sox fan.
The Chicago White Sox are God's team. They are the favorite team. We are the underdogs here in Chicago.
I don't really get the rivalry there. I guess there's a big rivalry in Chicago between the White Sox and the Bears. I mean the Cubs, yeah, the White Sox and the Cubs. So
It doesn't take a whole lot of courage to be a Cub fan because everyone likes the Cubs. The Sox are the epitome of what it takes to be a real man.
I got a pack, so I'll just have to suck it up. But I will tell you this, I do not particularly like traffic.
The Lord Jesus Christ is worth it.
Traffic.